Hello friends, I'm excited to hang out with you during today's video. This one is going to be a little bit more mental health based. I know I'm always talking about physical health, working out, nutrition, all of that good stuff, and while obviously that's important, mental health is also very important. So what I want to talk about today is something I haven't addressed much in the past, but it is something that I basically deal with on a daily basis. Some days are a lot better or a lot worse than others, but it's kind of always there. And that is anxiety. And you obviously see the title of this video. So today I'm just gonna go over briefly like my sort of history with anxiety and how it's affected my life, as well as some tactics that I use, some strategies that I use in order to manage my own anxiety that I know that also may help other people. And if you suffer from anxiety, or maybe you know someone else that does, chances are that you do, these tips may help you or them. Quick disclaimer though, you should always seek help from a professional, especially if your anxiety is more severe and debilitating. You definitely want to be seeing a doctor, a therapist, a functional medicine practitioner, someone that is highly qualified and can help you take the right steps. So these are more for mild anxiety, manageable anxiety, and that is not the case for everyone. I understand that. So yeah, definitely encourage you to seek the correct person to help you on your path toward a less anxiety-filled life. With that, I just want to give you guys a little background about my history with anxiety, my symptoms that I deal with, and kind of my triggers and stuff. So the first time I remember having like a serious run-in with anxiety is sophomore year of high school. I remember I was sitting in biology class, which was like my favorite. I was sitting in AP biology, and for some reason I just like felt like all of a sudden I couldn't calm down. I was like, my breathing was super shallow. I was trying to take deep breaths. I was trying to drink water. I felt kind of warm. And basically what happened was I felt like I lost like my fine motor control. Like I would kind of like try to pick up my foot and it would like go super high, or I would try to like write something and I couldn't. And another symptom that I always get is my fingers started tingling and my lips started tingling, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And yeah, there was no like huge trigger for that. It was more just like built up stress, and we did figure out that eventually it was anxiety. And I mean, the stressors were like, I was leaving for a trip with my friend and her family, so I was really worked up about like getting my schoolwork done ahead of time and then like catching up on it when I got back. And it was also my first time traveling like internationally, and like the AP biology test was coming up, and I've always been like one of those high achiever, high strung people that like I just really expect perfection essentially out of myself. So I just felt very like stressed with school and traveling and like not really crazy stuff. So that was kind of my first incident where I had an anxiety attack. After that, it wasn't really a huge issue for me. Again, I've always been kind of like a high anxiety type of person, but it never like flared up really until my freshman year of college, when again I was in class, and one of the first things, again, I was traveling, this was before the Arnold, I think. I was traveling in the next couple of weeks, and I had a bunch of exams to take early, and I had a bunch of assignments and stuff due, so I was just really stressed with school. And I was sitting in like theology class or something, and all of a sudden like it sounded like everything was far away. It sounded like my professor, who was just across the room, was like down a long hallway. Even the people right next to me talking to me sounded far away. And again, my fingers started tingling. I was trying to write. I was like wiggling my feet and trying to like pick up my feet and seeing if I was having those symptoms and stuff, and I was. And right after that class, I actually had to write a accounting exam. And I remember like walking up the stairs to that accounting exam, and I had to like drag myself up the railing because I couldn't like pick my feet up the right distance. It was so weird. I was like tripping up the stairs. So basically I just lose like all fine motor control. I feel all sorts of tingliness in my fingers and my toes and my lips, and the sound thing happens too. So by the time I finished my accounting exam, I was like, thought I was blacking out. Like my vision was starting to get blurry. I actually aced that exam for the record, but my vision started getting blurry and I was like, okay, this is terrifying. So I texted and called one of my friends on my floor. I was still living in the dorms, and I like asked her to walk me back to my room because I didn't trust myself to be able to like get back without passing out or like falling or something. It was so bizarre. And so she got me back. I took a nap right away and I woke up and I felt fine. I just had a headache. And so those sort of anxiety symptoms, those are like my 2 big anxiety attacks, and those symptoms have kind of like creeped back in at times, but I think I've learned a lot better how to manage it and how to like come back down from that state of high anxiety to where I haven't had a full-blown anxiety attack in years, knock on wood. But yeah, I have experienced like the tingling, the shallow breathing, and the weird noise stuff since then a few times, but nothing full-blown, thankfully. Beyond that, I wanted to give you guys some actionable steps that you can take to manage your anxiety. Again, I strongly encourage you to seek professional help and advice about this stuff, but this is just what I found has worked for me, and I know works for other people as well. So without further ado, number 1 is meditating and or focusing on breathing and doing breathing exercises. So whether you're meditating with an app like Headspace or freely meditating on your own, or you just want to sit down and focus on your breaths, count in and out, and just be still, that is always my first line of defense when it comes to an anxiety attack. If you are just focused on being present in your body, taking deep breaths into your belly, and just trying not to focus on everything else swirling around in your head, you will feel so much better. Meditation is something I try to make a daily practice. I am not quite there to where I do it every single day without fail, but I'm working on it. I've worked up to about like 15 minutes at a time, and I find that that really helps me throughout the day if I can do that first thing in the morning as a preventative measure. But if you do feel anxiety creeping in, then practicing meditation or breathing is super helpful. A common thing when you are feeling anxious is your chest breathing. You're not breathing all the way into your belly, filling up your lungs. You're like breathing these shallow, fast breaths in your chest, and that just kind of like works you up more and more and more. So if you are able to get deep belly breaths in and just kind of slow down everything, then you will definitely feel a little bit better. Next, there are lots of great supplements that can help you with anxiety. So things like ashwagandha, which is an adaptogen, has been shown to help a lot with anxiety, and you can either take that in like a multivitamin. So personally, I take it in the PE Science True Multi, has ashwagandha in it, or you can get it just separately in capsules, pure ashwagandha. I take like 500 milligrams or so a day. Another option is something like CBD oil, which is a derivative of hemp. It is not weed, it's not THC, it's not psychoactive, so it doesn't get you high or anything, but it's a derivative from hemp, and it does have a really great calming effect, especially at higher doses. My friend Joe actually has a company called Cured Nutrition, and they have like CBD oil droppers, capsules, seasonings. They just came out with cookie dough. So you can either microdose throughout the day as kind of a maintenance preventative type thing, or you can do higher doses if you do feel like anxiety is creeping up on you and you need a little extra support there. Highly recommend that. I do actually have a discount code for Cured now, and it is just Marie, and that will save you guys some money at checkout if you want to try CBD. I've definitely noticed that it helps with my anxiety. I also sometimes take it before bed if I feel like my brain is just kind of on overdrive and I'm having a hard time winding down. It's very useful for that as well. And lastly, there are lots of different types of homeopathic remedies. Andrew and I just got this one that's called like anxiety relief recently. Finding different like homeopathic remedies is something I'm a huge advocate for. I really like blending traditional Western medicine with more like functional medicine, naturopathic medicine, stuff like that. So I'm a huge believer in if you can treat symptoms with more natural remedies, then you should definitely go that route. So Here's one that we have been using and we have noticed a difference from. Again, not a doctor. I can't really tell you that this definitely will or won't work for you, so definitely consult your doctor before starting any of these like regimens, but that's what's helped me and Andrew as well. Number 3 is doing some sort of calming exercise, whether that's taking a walk outside, doing some slow, easy yoga, going for a bike ride, whatever it might be that kind of recenters you and helps you just focus and be present in your own body is going to be so helpful for anxiety. For me, I love to take morning walks. We go for like about a mile or so and just go first thing in the morning before we eat breakfast, and that sets the tone for the day and kind of keeps the anxiety at bay. Or going for a walk when you do feel the anxiety creeping in as needed is super helpful as well. Again, yoga, focusing on the breath, focusing on being present in your body, anything like that is just so beneficial for your mental health. Number 4 is talking it out with someone that understands you, whether that's a therapist or a psychologist or anyone that is just close to your heart, someone that you really trust. So like I said, Andrew really helps me a lot at like talking me down from feeling very anxious at times, and I do the same for him. And just talking about like what is going on up here and getting it all out takes the burden off of you of dealing with it on your own. And for me, that really does work me up, is feeling like I have to handle everything by myself all the time. Voicing it to someone else, whether it is someone who is a doctor or a professional or someone that's just a loved one, a family member, a friend, you will feel a lot better after just letting it out, and they can, you know, be there for you whether they have the answers or not. It's just so nice to have someone to talk to. And number 5 is actually one of my favorites, and that is writing stuff down, whether that be journaling or writing in a planner. Personally, again, I feel like I get the most stressed and anxious when I have a bunch of stuff going on. I have a bunch of responsibilities and deadlines and people needing things, and just I put so much pressure on myself to get all that stuff done, remember it all, and like do it well. So I just have so much stuff like swirling around in my brain all the time, and journaling things out, whether that's feelings or like worries or, you know, relationships or just things that are really weighing on you, just writing it out, letting it flow onto paper feels so good. And another thing that I do when I'm feeling overwhelmed is make sure that I'm writing lists and just doing a brain dump, like everything that needs to be done, whether it's, you know, something like laundry or pick up a prescription or something like that, all the way up into like work deadlines and more, you know, serious stuff. But just writing all that stuff down and making a list gets it from being just chaotic up here and organizes it on paper. Planning my day out is something that I do every single morning, and I modify and edit and check stuff off as the day goes on, and that just helps me feel like I'm on track, I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm not gonna forget anything. I also like to keep a notebook next to my bed because I feel like a lot of the times before bed I like think of all this stuff that needs to be done, or I get ideas and stuff, so I have a hard time falling asleep because I'm afraid I'm gonna forget it. So having something next to my bed or even writing it in the notes in your phone is just so helpful, and then you're not worried about forgetting stuff or just being overwhelmed by like information and to-do lists and stuff. So those are my top 5 tips for managing anxiety. Definitely feel free to share this video and help the people in your life out. If you are new, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you click the little bell, you will get notified whenever I post a new video. Hit the thumbs up button if you found it helpful, and I would love to see in the comments down below. I always try to answer like the first couple days of commenters, so I would love to chat with you down there. If you have any other strategies and tips that help you or people that you know, I would love to hear those as well. That's one of the best parts about the comment section, is it can be such a resource. So leave a comment down below with your favorite anxiety management strategy, and I will see you guys super soon. I love you, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.